Should the San Francisco 49ers trade for D-end Kayvon Thibodeaux of the Giants? Apparently, he's on the trade block. Apparently, there's potential where he might actually be traded. This guy, in my opinion, would be a good fit for the 49ers. Before we jump into all of that, the cost of the trade, and et cetera, let's go ahead and jump into the production that Kayvon Thibodeaux has for the Giants. So that way we get an idea of exactly what are we getting from this D-end if we were to trade for him. In 2023, he had 11 and a half sacks. It's pretty darn good, if you ask me. 16 quarterback hits. That's one quarterback hit a game. Well, I guess there's 17 games. But you get the point. 16 quarterback hits. Pretty good. 3 forced fumbles and 4 pass deflections. That's pretty darn good if you were to ask me. Now, in 2024, he had a bit of a dip when it comes to the sack category. He had 5.5 sacks. He had 8 tackles for a loss, 1 forced fumble, and 2 pass deflections in 12 games. He only started 12 games, played in 12 games. Also, keep in mind, the Giants' defense in 2023 was a lot better. It really honestly was. And in 2024, it had a huge downgrade, wasn't nearly as good, so he was dealing with a lot less around him. So let's go ahead and just jump into the thought and the idea of Kayvon Thibodeaux coming to the San Francisco 49ers. If he came to the San Francisco 49ers, he'd be day one starter, instant impact, and fit absolutely perfect in the Robert Saleh defense. This guy, I think, is a good pass rusher. He's a good run stopper. He is good at his job, and he's young, so you could trust his motor. He is a good player that would be an instant day one starter, probably the best pass rusher across from Nick Bosa ever since Nick Bosa has been here. And that's something we've been dying for, just an actual starter, someone who can actually compete with Nick Bosa on both sides. And you get a guy who's not just a pass rusher, but he's also a run stopper. Like I said, this guy is a good player. And if you can get this guy for a good value, and the value that I've been hearing that some people have been passing around, maybe a 5th-round pick for the guy, for a 1-year rental, absolutely worth it. Not only do you push the DN need down the line, where you're not forced to get a DN with the 11th pick in the draft, you can get a guy in the 3rd or 4th round that's developmental. And you can have him get better, learn behind Thibodeaux, get a year under his belt, and then he could take over Thibodeaux. Because in this draft, you can find guys in the 3rd and 4th round that can do that are developmental. That is perfect for the situation if they were to get a guy like Thibodeaux. Now, the San Francisco 49ers wouldn't be able to pay Thibodeaux, especially if he balls out. If he has a great year, 11.5 sack year again, something like that, he's going to get paid somewhere else 110%. On the bright side, you would get a comp pick in return if he goes somewhere the next year. But Thibodeaux would not be on this team, technically speaking, would not end up being on this team in 2026. But for this 1 year, you would have a day one starter. He would help out your DN that you get in the draft in the 3rd or 4th round. It pushes that need down the line. It allows you to actually have a good defensive line on the outside if you were to draft 2 D tackles the 1st round and the 2nd round. If you got, let's say, for example, you got Walter Nolan with the 1st pick, and then you got Talik Williams, the 43rd pick. Or if you got Kenneth Grant, and then you got TJ Sanders. Those are all day one starters for the San Francisco 49ers. Those are day one impact players. If you got a guy like Thibodeaux, you have an impact player day one on the other side who's a great pass rusher run stopper. And then you just have to focus on getting those 2 D tackles in the middle. And then you have Nick Bosa on the right. You have a starting D line again. You have a good, high impact, high potential D line, super young, high motor, perfect situation. And like I said, in the 3rd, 4th round, get yourself a young dude that you can develop. And then the next year, put him in. Be like, hey, you are going to be a starter. And if you don't trust that guy, you now just push that need down the line. You have your 2 D tackles. You have Nick Bosa. And then all you need is another D end in 2026. If you think that developmental D end that you got isn't ready yet, you could draft another guy in the 1st round. It pushes the need down the line. You fill the hole that you need, and it sets up your D-line for success. I think Kayvon Thibodeaux would be an excellent pickup for the San Francisco 49ers. Again, it does matter by value, though. I would not give up a 3rd-round pick for him. I would not give up my early 4th for him. The latest I would do is probably a late 4th, and a 5th-round pick for a guy like that. What idea that kind of came in the back of my mind, I don't really like this, but you guys let me know if you like this. It just kind of crossed my mind. What if, since the Giants want to move on from Kayvon Thibodeaux and all the things I talked about that he would bring to the team and the situation he'd bring to the team. What if the San Francisco 49ers gave up the 11th pick for Kayvon Thibodeaux and the Giants' second rounder? So you technically get their early second round pick, or late first rounder, if you want to look at it that way, and you get Kayvon Thibodeaux. I think that would be worth it. Throw in a 7th round pick. You got 3 of those. You might as well. I think that that'd be a great situation. I think that's actually a good trade, but I'm kind of on the fence about it because if you get a guy like Kayvon Thibodeaux, you want to make sure you get your starter at the D tackle position. You want to make sure you get your another starter for sure in the second round, because you definitely will. I mean, Talik Williams might be there 43. TJ Sanders might be there 43. If you ask me, they're day 1 starters at D tackle. Kenneth Grant is falling down draft boards. Derek Harmon's falling down draft boards, so you can get a 43 as well in the second round. There's high potential here. I think Kayvon Thibodeaux would be a great pickup for the San Francisco 49ers and worthy of that possible trade scenario I talked about, the second round pick, Thibodeaux for the 11th pick, or a 5th rounder like the 160th pick for Kayvon Thibodeaux for a 1-year rental while you get your D end in the 3rd round, 4th round, and just develop him. I think that would be a great situation. I think it honestly would be worth it. He doesn't have a high cap hit or whatever. You would get a comp pick for him later if he gets the bag. So I think it'd be a great situation. And you're not exactly reaching for the guy either. And what I mean by that is, like, you're not forcing the issue with this dude. This guy fits the San Francisco 49ers defense. He'd be the perfect spot. It would be the perfect spot for Kayvon Thibodeaux to go to for the San Francisco 49ers. And I love the idea of possibly trading for this guy and miss out on him. Not the end of the world. It's really honestly not. But if we end up getting him, I would be ecstatic. I would be thrilled, especially if we were to get him for like the 160th pick or that trade scenario I talked about. Kayvon Thibodeaux, man, good option. Someone to go out there. An honorable mention trade idea I should throw out there is Jalen Ramsey. I have heard that he's on the trade block, and the Miami Dolphins are speaking to several teams. He has a $25 million cap hit, and that's just not worth it. I mean, I like Jalen Ramsey, but if you were to trade for him, you are locked in with that guy until 2028. The only way that I would possibly trade for Jalen Ramsey is that the Miami Dolphins would have to take a lot of the cap hit. They really honestly would. And he would have to be relatively cheap, not even a 5th rounder. I give him like a 7th or 2 7ths for the guy. There would have to be a negotiation. So you have to meet us in the middle. There has to be a compromise. You have to do a lot more than just here's picks and we'll take the guy. He's 30 years old. He'll be 31 in October. I don't think a guy like Jalen Ramsey would be worth trading for. But if you did, like I said, there would have to be a compromise of some kind. There would have to be like you have to take a lot of his cap hit. Like you really honestly would, because I'm not taking on that cap hit for a guy who's 30 years old, be 31 in October. It's just not worth it at that point. So let me know what you guys think. Should the San Francisco 49ers trade for Kayvon Thibodeaux? Would he be a good fit? Do you like the scenario I put it out there? Do you think it'd just be a waste of time? You just might as well keep that 5th rounder or that trade idea I gave out. Is that a good idea? Or what is your trade offer for a guy like Kayvon Thibodeaux? Let me know what you think in the comments. I would absolutely love to hear it. And just so you guys know, this is something I love to do, and I cannot do it without you. So every single like supports me, helps the conversation. And again, I just can't do this without you. And I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I'll see you next video. Bang, bang, nana, gang.